Let's be honest. Most men waste their time trying to prove their worth to a woman who doesn't even see their value in the first place. And the painful part? A lot of guys don't even realize it until it's too late. That's why this video is going to shake you a little. Because once you learn to recognize the signs that a woman doesn't value you, you'll stop chasing and start choosing. Now, I'm not here to bash women. This isn't about blaming or bitterness. This is about waking you up. Because the truth is, when a woman genuinely respects and values you, her actions show it, consistently. You don't need to convince her. You don't need to beg for effort, loyalty, or attention. But when she doesn't value you, it's a whole different game, and most guys keep playing it, thinking if they try harder, things will change. They don't. Welcome back to the channel. If you've ever found yourself wondering why she pulls away, why her words don't match her actions, or why you feel like you're always on edge around her, this one's for you. Because we're going to break it all down. No fluff, just straight talk. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 clear behaviors of a woman who doesn't value you. And listen, some of these may hit hard, but that's the point. If even one of these signs sounds familiar, it's time to take a serious look at the dynamic you're in. Not to make her wrong, but to make sure you stop accepting less than you deserve. So, if you've been dealing with mixed signals, cold energy, or straight up disrespect, stay with me. This video might be the wake-up call you've been needing. 1. She's emotionally absent, but physically present. Let's break this one down clearly, because a lot of men get caught in this trap without even realizing it. One of the clearest signs that a woman doesn't value you is when she's emotionally checked out, but still physically around. You're texting her, you're calling, you're trying to connect. She might even respond, hang out occasionally, or sleep with you. But when you really pay attention, it feels like something's missing. That spark, that warmth, that presence. It's just not there anymore. This behavior is confusing to a lot of men, because she hasn't actually left. She's still in your life. Maybe you're still sleeping together. Maybe she's still liking your photos, but emotionally, she's gone. She's not sharing her thoughts with you. She's not genuinely laughing at your jokes. She's not asking how your day went or checking in on your goals. When you talk, her replies are surface level. Her attention feels divided. You feel like you're just there, a convenience, not a connection. Now here's what most guys do wrong. They mistake her physical presence for emotional investment. They think, well, she's still here, right? So maybe it's just a phase. No, man. What's happening is she's keeping you on standby. You're in her life, but not in her heart. And that's a dangerous position to be in. When a woman values you, you'll know. She's engaged, she asks questions, she's excited to see you, she wants to know what's going on in your world, she cares about your emotions, your energy, your attention. If all of that is gone, and all you're left with is a few messages and the occasional meetup, it's not love, it's obligation. Or worse, it's convenience. Think about how often you initiate conversations versus how often she does. Are you constantly trying to pull her in? Do you feel like you're chasing her emotionally? That's not how it's supposed to be. When a woman truly values a man, she won't leave him hanging emotionally. She'll be present, consistent, and invested in the connection, not just going through the motions. The longer you tolerate emotional absence, the more you teach her that you'll accept scraps, that you'll settle for half in, half out. And that sets the tone for how she continues to treat you. You've got to recognize when someone is only giving you the bare minimum and stop chasing what no longer exists. If she's emotionally absent but still physically around, it's not loyalty, it's not love, it's convenience. Don't let someone stick around in your life just because they have access to you. If the connection feels cold, distant, or robotic, that's your sign. Step back, reclaim your energy, and stop pouring into someone who's already checked out. 2. She only responds when it benefits her. Here's something you need to recognize immediately. When a woman only reaches out, replies, or gives you attention when it benefits her, she does not value you. This is a hard truth a lot of men ignore because they confuse momentary attention with genuine interest. But there's a big difference between a woman who values you and one who just uses you for what she needs in the moment. Let's be real. If you're always the one initiating, always texting first, always making plans, always putting in the effort, and she only gets back to you when she needs something, whether it's validation, favors, emotional support, or a financial boost, you are not in a mutual connection. You are being used. And it's subtle at first. She might text you out of the blue after days of silence, not to check on you, but to vent about her problems. Or she'll suddenly be sweet when she wants something. Your time, your help, your resources. Then, once she gets it, she disappears again. This is not emotional reciprocity. This is manipulation disguised as connection. A woman who values you doesn't operate on a "what can he do for me today" mindset. She engages with you consistently, not conditionally. She shows up when you need her, not just when she needs something from you. Her attention isn't transactional, it's genuine. Now here's what happens to most men. They feel that little hit of dopamine when she finally replies. When she texts, "Hey stranger," they feel hope. But you have to look deeper. Does she ever check in on you when you're down? Does she ever offer support or encouragement when you're going through something? Or is her attention always tied to a need or desire of her own? When a woman values you, she wants to give, not just receive. She wants to pour into you, not just drain your energy when it suits her. And the moment you realize that her patterns revolve around convenience, not connection, you need to stop chasing. Pull back. Pay attention to how she behaves when you're no longer constantly available. If she disappears the moment you stop giving, that tells you everything. This kind of one-sided interaction can drain a man's self-esteem. You start wondering why her attention is inconsistent, why she vanishes, why you feel used. But deep down you already know, she doesn't see you as a priority. She sees you as an option, one she calls on when it suits her. That's not how a man of value allows himself to be treated. So here's the shift. Stop responding immediately to breadcrumbs. Stop over-investing in someone who's clearly under-invested in you. You're not an emotional crutch or a free therapist. If she only shows up when there's something in it for her, that's your cue to step back and level up. Let her feel your absence, not your availability. 3. She doesn't respect your time or effort. If a woman doesn't respect your time, she doesn't respect you, period. And this is one of the most overlooked signs that she doesn't truly value you. It starts small. She shows up late to plans without a real apology. She cancels last minute with a casual excuse. She leaves you on read for hours, even days, yet she's online and posting on social media. You try to have conversations, but she doesn't seem present. You put in energy, calling, planning, showing up, and she barely meets you halfway. At some point, you have to realize this isn't just how she is. It's a reflection of how little she values your presence. Respect for time is respect for you. When you make space in your schedule for her, prioritize her, or go out of your way to see her, that effort should be acknowledged and reciprocated. If it's not, and it becomes a pattern, then it's not miscommunication. It's disregard. A woman who values you is excited to see you. She's mindful of your time, even if she's busy. She gives notice if she can't make something work. She doesn't leave you hanging or make you feel like you're chasing someone who's lukewarm about your existence. Here's the mistake most men make. They justify it. She's busy. She has a lot going on. Maybe I'm being too sensitive. No, man. If she had to meet a celebrity, she'd make time. If it was someone she admired or respected, she'd show up early and dress her best. But for you, she's casual, dismissive, unreliable. That tells you something powerful. She doesn't see you as someone she needs to impress or prioritize. That's not the behavior of a woman who values a man. That's the behavior of someone who thinks you'll stick around no matter how low the effort is. And here's the reality. You teach people how to treat you. If you keep tolerating disrespect of your time, your plans, your attention, she learns she doesn't have to do more. You'll stay, you'll wait, you'll reschedule. And every time you excuse it, you lower your value in her eyes. So what do? You stop overextending yourself. You become less available. You mirror her energy. If she cancels last minute, don't rush to rebook. If she shows up late, don't act like it's fine. Call it out calmly. If she goes cold, you go colder. Your attention is earned, not given freely to someone who treats it like it's disposable. The goal isn't to punish her, it's to remind yourself of your worth. Respect isn't requested. It's commanded by the way you carry yourself. The man who values himself doesn't tolerate being treated like a placeholder. And once you start acting like your time matters, you'll attract the women who truly see your worth and let go of the ones who never did. 4. She never initiates contact or affection. Let's talk about one of the most subtle but telling signs a woman doesn't truly value you. She never initiates. Not the conversation, not the plans, not the affection, nothing. It's always you reaching out first. Always you making the effort. You're the one texting her in the morning. You're the one checking in during the day. You're the one asking to meet up, arranging the plans, and trying to keep the energy going. If you stopped texting her today, how long would it take before she reached out? That's a tough question, but it's one every man needs to ask himself. Because when a woman values you, you don't always have to go first. She'll call you just to hear your voice. She'll text you out of nowhere because something reminded her of you. She'll want to see you, and she'll say it. When you mean something to her, she'll make it known without needing a prompt. A woman who never initiates is showing you that she doesn't feel a sense of urgency or enthusiasm about your presence in her life. You're not a priority, you're an option. Something she might respond to, when convenient, but never something she chases. Now, some guys make excuses for this. They say, "Oh, she's just shy," or "That's how women are, they want the man to lead." But here's the truth. Even shy women find ways to show interest. Even traditional women who want the man to lead will send clear signals, return energy, or show warmth when they care. When she values you, you won't have to wonder. So if you're always initiating and she's just coasting, you need to wake up. That pattern drains you over time. You end up overinvested while she's underinvested. And guess what? She starts to see you as the guy who's too available, too eager, too easy to get. It kills attraction. Not because you're doing something wrong by caring, but because you're doing it all and she doesn't feel the need to meet you halfway. The imbalance makes you look like you need her more than she needs you, and that ruins the tension women need to feel to stay emotionally engaged. What should you do if this is happening? Pull back. Stop initiating for a while. Don't reach out first. Don't ask to meet. Don't keep pouring energy into someone who isn't showing effort. If she notices and steps up, great. That means there's interest, but she got comfortable. If she doesn't notice, or worse, disappears completely, now you know exactly where you stood, and you're free to move on. The bottom line is this: a woman who never initiates isn't emotionally invested. A woman who values you will want to connect. She won't play the background forever. And when you start holding your energy to a higher standard, you stop wasting time on people who don't deserve it. So this side. 5. She disrespects your time and boundaries. Here's something a lot of men overlook, but it's a major sign that a woman doesn't value you. She consistently disrespects your time and boundaries, and this doesn't always show up in loud or obvious ways. Sometimes it's subtle, but it's always consistent. She's late all the time. She cancels plans last minute without caring how it affects you. She takes forever to respond to your messages, and when she finally does, there's no apology, no explanation, and no consideration for how that silence made you feel. It's not just about being busy. Everybody gets busy. It's about whether or not she respects the time you offer her. Let's say you make plans with her for Friday night. You cleared your schedule, got yourself ready, and you're looking forward to it. Friday comes, and she suddenly says, "Hey, I'm not really feeling it tonight. Can we reschedule?" And you say sure, because you're trying to be understanding. But then it happens again. And again. She never locks anything down with you. It's always maybe. Always we'll see. That's not her being indecisive. That's her showing you where you rank on her priority list. Now let's talk about boundaries. You tell her what you're comfortable with. Maybe you need space when you're working. Or maybe you've said that late night calls don't work for you. But she ignores that. She does what she wants, when she wants, and expects you to adjust. She pushes your limits just to see if you'll cave. And more often than not, you do. Why? Because you're hoping that if you're flexible enough, she'll finally see your worth. But here's the truth. If she doesn't respect your boundaries now, she never will, unless you respect them first. Men lose power in relationships not because they're weak, but because they allow disrespect to become normal. And once disrespect is normalized, attraction dies fast. There's nothing attractive about being the guy who's always waiting, always compromising, always putting himself second just to keep her interested. That's not leadership. That's desperation. And she feels it, even if you think you're playing it cool. Now picture a woman who does value you. She'll show up on time because she respects your time. She'll follow through on plans. She'll ask if you're available instead of assuming you are. And when you set a boundary, she'll take it seriously because she doesn't want to lose your respect or your presence. So if you're dealing with someone who's constantly late, cancels on you, ignores what you've said matters to you, you need to take a step back. Stop rewarding bad behavior with more access to your time. If she wants to be in your life, she needs to earn that space. Respect isn't optional. It's the foundation of attraction. When a woman values you, she proves it by how she treats your time and how she handles your limits. Never forget that. 6. Her words say one thing, her actions say another. Here's something that'll keep you stuck in confusion if you don't recognize it early. When her words sound sweet, but her actions tell a very different story. This is one of the most common signs that a woman doesn't truly value you, but it's also the easiest for men to ignore. Why? Because we want to believe what we hear. We want to believe she means it when she says she misses us. We want to believe she really cares, even when everything she does contradicts it. She might tell you she likes you, that she enjoys spending time with you, or that she doesn't want to lose you. But then she disappears for days. She barely initiates contact. She won't make time for you unless it's convenient for her. When you invite her into your life, she gives you excuses. When you bring up something important, she avoids it. She might even go out of her way to say all the right things, especially when she senses you're pulling back. That's when the compliments start flowing. I know I've been distant, but I really do like you. I'm just going through a lot, but I'm so happy you're patient with me. That kind of language is meant to keep you hanging on. It gives just enough hope to stop you from walking away, but never enough consistency to actually build a real connection. And if you challenge her on it, she'll deflect. She'll say you're being too sensitive, or that you're rushing things, or that she just needs space. The minute you ask for clarity, she plays the confusion card. But notice something. She never confuses you when she wants something. Only when you start waking up to the inconsistency. Here's what that tells you. She likes the attention, not the connection. She enjoys having access to you, but she's not invested in anything deeper. And you've got to stop giving energy to someone whose effort doesn't match their words. Attraction isn't built through talk, it's built through action. If she tells you she's into you, but she never makes time, never initiates, never shows up unless you're chasing, she's not into you. Maybe she's lonely, maybe she wants validation, maybe she likes the idea of you, but she doesn't value you. When a woman truly values a man, her actions back her words. If she says she cares, you'll feel it. Not because she says it often, but because she shows up consistently. She respects your time. She's present when she's with you. She doesn't disappear without reason. And when she makes a mistake, she owns it, rather than gaslighting you. A woman who values you doesn't leave you guessing. So if you find yourself constantly confused, constantly questioning where you stand, pay less attention to what she says and more to what she does. Clarity lives in action, and when the two don't align, your answer is right in front of you. 7. You're always the backup plan, never the priority. Let's be brutally honest here. If a woman only makes time for you when nothing better is going on, you're not her priority. You're her fallback. And nothing screams, "I don't value you," louder than that. This is one of the hardest truths for a man to accept, but it's one of the most important. Because once you recognize this behavior, you stop giving your energy to people who see you as a convenience instead of a commitment. Here's how this usually plays out. She disappears for days, maybe even weeks. no calls, no texts. Then suddenly, on a Friday night at 10 p.m., she hits you up with, "Hey stranger," or "What are you up to?" Sounds innocent, right? But if you look closely, it's not interest. It's boredom. You're the comfort food she runs to when her main plans fall through. And if a man accepts that role long enough, he'll start to believe that's all he's worth. You see, when a woman truly values a man, she doesn't put him in the waiting room of her life. She makes space for him on purpose. She thinks about how he fits into her world, not just when she's lonely, but when she's busy, when life is full. If she only shows up when she needs something, attention, validation, entertainment, but she's missing when you need support, connection, or consistency, that's not love. That's utility. And here's what makes it worse. Many men will defend this behavior. They'll say, "She's just busy," or "She's been through a lot," or "She's not good at expressing herself." But let's be real. People make time for what they value. No one's too busy for someone they actually care about. What's really happening is she's keeping you on standby. Just in case. Just in case things don't work out with the guy she really wants. Just in case she gets lonely. Just in case she needs your attention to feel good about herself. But ask yourself this: are you okay being someone's just in case? Because here's the hard truth. If you don't value yourself enough to demand priority, you'll always get treated like an afterthought. Women mirror the standards you set. If you accept being her backup plan, she'll never feel the need to give you more. Why would she? You're already giving her all the benefits: attention, time, emotional support, without requiring real effort, respect, or emotional investment in return. So this is your wake-up call. You don't need to be aggressive. You don't need to beg for her time. You just need to observe her behavior and act accordingly. If you notice she's only around when it's easy, when she's bored, or when she wants something, pull back. Set a higher standard. Respect yourself enough to walk away from anyone who doesn't see your value. Because the moment you stop being someone's option is the moment you open yourself up to become someone's priority. Here's the hard truth, and it might sting a little. The way a woman treats you is often a direct reflection of how much you respect yourself. If you keep showing up for someone who constantly disrespects your time, energy, and emotional investment, then you're not just allowing it, you're enabling it. The 5 behaviors we just broke down aren't random. They're clear signs that you're not being valued. And the longer you ignore them, the more damage they do. Not just to your relationship, but to your self-worth as a man. Women notice everything. If you tolerate being sidelined, disrespected, or used, you're training her on how to treat you. This isn't about blaming women. It's about waking you up. If you've seen these signs in your own situation, it's time to stop pretending everything is fine and start holding people to the standard you deserve. Value your presence, your time, your love. Because if you don't, no one else will. Let me ask you something provocative. How much of your suffering in relationships comes from trying to prove your worth to someone who already decided you weren't enough? Think about that. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced any of these behaviors? Did you ignore the signs? Did you finally walk away? Drop your story in the comments below. I read everyone. Let's build a space where men talk honestly and level up together. And if this hit home for you, don't just scroll. Do something with it. Set the standard. Walk like you know your worth.